People, oh my goodness, I am so excited because I said at the beginning of this year that my word for the year was collaboration.
Hey.
And I am so excited and super, super uh, blessed to have with me on this fine day my buddy, Barry Johnson. Hey, Barry, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your channel?
All right, sounds good. And thanks for having me, Eileen. So, Barry Johnson, and what I do is I look at smartphones from an engineering perspective. So, if you go to my channel, you'll get stuff like camera comparisons, stuff that you would get at other channels, but it just comes from an engineer's eye. So, I try to keep it fresh and updated on a weekly basis.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. And I want to say hi to our friend Gadget Goddess. What's happening? And then also holla at your boys here. I
Yep.
and, and my buddy Simply Obs. Hey, 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 girl. All right. So since I'm glad that you are focused on the cell phones or mobile devices because some of the updates that we're going to cover today are going to relate to actually things that only can be seen and used on mobile. Okay.
Okay.
So so, Barry, first, let me ask you, do you have a podcast or have you ever had a podcast?
So I had started a podcast, and it's now in hiatus, so to speak. So I really wanted to get my YouTube going first, and once I get my YouTube, probably spend the next 6 months with my YouTube really growing, that I might start one again.
That is such a smart way to do things because what we tend to do as content creators, and this is Content Creator Corner. And yes, I just made that up this morning, about, as Barry knows, about 8 minutes ago. We tend to say, oh, let me go and do this thing. And oh, that looks so cool. And even though today we are going to be covering some of these bright, shiny objects, I don't want you to go down these paths. I just want you to know that they're available and
Hmm.
be smart and be patient, like Barry. Focus on your one or your two channels. When I say channels, I should say platforms. Build those out, get comfortable with them, build a following, and then start to branch out into other forms of content creation. So let's see, I
Hmm.
think some new comments came in. Okay, so you guys are just saying hi to each other.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. Uh Signal is in and out, but I'm
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Okay. I,
yeah.
I
So she's in a place where she has bad signal.
okay, I was
Uh,
gonna say I think that's on your side, but oh,
yeah,
Angela,
it's on her side. It's on her side.
Angelina. Hi, dear. How
How's it
are
going,
you?
Angelina?
And a blind guy, his wife, their life. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Good day, good people, and welcome to the guest. All right. Thank you so much. And simply also saying it's good to catch you live. Yes. And, you're getting your waves from Gadget Goddess. But Gadget Goddess, I think you and I are already connected as well. And
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so awesome. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is about Spotify.
Okay.
And when you had your podcast, were you hosting it with Anchor?
So no, but I do know that there's people that started theirs about the same time that they were hosting it with Anchor. So mine was all on YouTube, and I was gonna, get the audio and send it to other places, but it never got to that point.
I see. Okay. So you were really in the beginning stages of
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
Okay. So what I want to do, and I'm trying to do some behind the scenes stuff here, guys. And so bear with me. I know that looks kind of weird. Like, why is she in the middle of that? But I'm going to get my cell phone up for us to take a look at what's going on with Spotify because, as many of you know, Spotify has acquire Anchor, or they did a while ago. And so they're bringing out these features, and some of them you might think are kind of bizarre. So hang on, let me just get it all set up here. I'm sorry, I apologize everybody for
Oh
not
yeah,
having
that's
it
fine.
set up ahead of time, but I have my list of things that I wanted to cover. So hey, I'm doing good. So what I want to do is show you, if you've never listened to podcasts on the Spotify app. I'm almost there, guys. For me, I would go to my home. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I would go to my library. Let me make sure you guys can see everything here. One more little adjustment. And bring that up to the top. All right. And then across my library, you see podcasts and shows. And I want to go to my podcast because I've already started using these. And so what they are trying to do is use some interactive features, which is really cool because, like in podcasting, for someone like myself, one of the reasons why I call myself like pod fading
Hmm.
from time to time is because when you're podcasting, you're kind of like by yourself. You sometimes don't get feedback from
Hmm.
anybody. This is why I love live streaming because, there's always that feedback. There's always the chat and all of that stuff. And so Spotify is attempting to address this. And I love that Spotify is giving competition to Apple because they are innovative and they are more nimble. Like Apple, when they want to change something, it takes them about 4 or 5 years to change it.
Yeah, yeah, correct. Yep,
They'll introduce a new feature, but yet it's not rolled out completely for like
correct.
another 4 or 5 years. And it's like,
Hmm.
what is wrong with you guys? I get it. It's not bringing you guys money in, but at the same time, it's like it still makes you look bad.
Yep.
And people have complained about the Apple Podcast app. But this is what Spotify has done. And I hope that this is going to be a good example. So I'm just going to open up this um, episode here, and you'll see this is the new feature. I can literally go. This is only on the mobile device. All
Hmm.
right. I want to make that clear. This is not going to work on desktop. So if you have
Mm,
Spotify, it's not going to work on desktop. I can add a Q&A.
nice.
So I've added this. Do you use a link in bio tool or landing page on your website? And you know what? Really quickly, in case anybody wants to open up Spotify, go over there, and I'm going to put the link to my show, which is the anchorshow.com. And there you go. In case you don't have to do it now, but you may want to eventually open up the Spotify app. And this is on that latest episode, not my trailer episode, but the latest episode, which is called Link in Bio Tools for Your Podcast. And so here is the Q&A. Do you use a link in bio tool or landing page on your website? And people can reply. And it even tells you the podcast creator can read and display replies on Spotify and blah, blah, blah. So you got to, agree to that. Then there's also another feature that they added, which is polls. Polls. So there's two features,
Hmm.
Q&A and polls.
That's pretty cool.
And what was really cool about this was that I was able to add them both. Are you able to make
So
the
I'm
spot?
actually trying to, let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm trying to do it on the fly here.
Okay, go ahead. All right, so somebody asked if I can make the Spotify box larger. So I will make it larger. In fact, I'm going to cover me up for a minute. Make it larger just so you can actually see this Q&A and this poll. And forgive me if that looks a little awkward, but I'm pretty sure that now you can at least see the Q&A. Oh, Clinton, thank you
Okay, so
so
it's the
much.
anchor.
Information, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. You're
There it
the
is. I
best.
got it.
Love
Okay.
you. Okay,
Yeah, so
great.
I can see all that stuff now. That is too cool.
Yeah. So
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 this is pretty huge. Like to give you an example, there's so maybe so I filmed about 10 episodes and decided I was going to continue the podcast. So we didn't make it into a podcast, but at I would say maybe a month or two later, there was a person that we know in our group that started a podcast. And I was literally just about to go and start watching the podcast on YouTube because there's no way of them to track or know that I'm interacting with their show other than they get another view, but they don't know who views it. So this is really nice.
yeah, okay, so I'm gonna take this down because I think you guys got the hang of it now, and it feels awkward there. Plus, I was
Yeah, I see.
doing
Okay,
too
so
many
I'm gonna
things.
yes.
And Clinton said, Information Man Show said, "Thank you, thank you, Clinton." And Blind Guy, his wife, their life. I'm in your podcast now and looking at the current episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So go ahead and either vote on the poll or answer the Q&A. I don't know if that's going to update in real time because I think
So Eileen,
it
if you get a chance, can you go back to link and bio tools for your podcast? Because I replied to do you use link and bio tool?
okay, yeah, I'm actually still there and I don't see
Okay.
that's why I said I don't know
Okay.
that it's going to update in real time. But so
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
I'm I'm like trying to PTR as they say in
Hmm.
Clubhouse, pull to refresh and I don't see it refreshing. But maybe what I need to do is like come out of it and then try it again, go back in there again and see if it oh, yep, I got a reply. Yay!
Yeah, that's cool. That is
Okay, wait a minute. Hang on, let me take that
all right.
comment
So
down.
I'm gonna inform the person that I know that because I know they're on Spotify as well that this exists.
Okay, great. And but it have to be an anchor because I'm going to show you in a minute
Okay.
how you
Okay.
actually set it up. You
Okay.
have to be using Anchor. So this is also their attempt at encouraging folks to use Anchor. All right. So there's a reply and let's see, I'm clicking on it. It's not opening it up. Uh, okay. It's asking me all this stuff and I have to say got it, I guess. No, it's just going to let me reply. Oh, I think I need to just see the responses over in my Anchor dashboard. So that's what we're going to do. All right. And somebody, you also voted on the poll. Was that you,
Yep.
Barry?
Yep. That was me.
Okay.
I voted on the
Okay.
poll. Yep.
Awesome. Great. All right. So let's just put Spotify and the phone down for a second. And we will navigate over to, first of all, let's just change the layout again. And we'll navigate over to Anchor. And I believe it does tell you, they did say in the announcement that that's where you would see the responses would be over in your dashboard. But hang on, guys, I'm going to navigate to the episodes first and see what I can find out before I do the screen share.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. All right. Yes, I got it. Awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to screen share from the StreamYard side. By the way, I'm using StreamYard, but I'm also using Ecamm Live as my virtual camera,
Virtual camera. Okay.
but I am going to use StreamYard for the
Yeah.
screen share just so I don't lose my mind.
So I'm using just to say some more stuff. I'm using OBS as my virtual camera, but I'm in StreamYard with Eileen currently.
All right. Okay. So, and here's, I guess, where I would reply back to you, or I don't even know if I can reply. But here you go. So, this was the question in the Q&A. Do you use a link in bio tool? And then Barry came in and said, I use a link in the bio. Yes. And now I can pin his comment so that
Oh,
it's
that is
always up
too
at the
cool.
top. And then here you'll see, it's pinned. It's the same one. So yeah.
That
All
is
right.
too
So
cool.
it is cool. I think it's cool. And I because I have the anchor show, I
Hmm.
definitely need to do a podcast episode about this. It's going to be kind of hard, like we always like to repurpose content, but I'm
Hmm.
doing so many screen shares. By the time I finish editing this thing down, I might as well just record a whole episode. All right, so let's see. If you guys are asking questions, bear with me. I just want to show you the poll now.
Hmm.
Here's what the poll looked like. And it was just, showing that there was one vote. Are you on Instagram? And also, guys, I want to talk to you about when you do these polls. Okay, hang on. Do you have a link to your guest channel? I would like to check him out. Oh yeah, Barry, can you put your link to your channel?
I
Oh,
think you have to make me a mod,
I was going to say
but I
you would
can.
not be able to.
Here, let me.
Yeah.
You know what I can do? I can do it. I can do it in a different way.
No,
Let me
I
check.
will. I will. In fact, I am going to make you a mod. But what I want to do before I do that is turn off the screen share,
Okay.
because I'm going to go into the back end of my. And I was really surprised that your channel is literally Barry Johnson, right?
It's Barry Johnson. Yeah. Yep.
I'm like,
So,
you got lucky.
and fun fact, I got very lucky. And fun fact, when I crossed 100 subscribers, Eileen was in that live stream.
That's
When
great.
I
I remember that. Yes.
yeah,
Oh
she
my
was in
God.
it.
Yeah, we've been hanging for a while, haven't we? All right, so I'm in the back end of my YouTube, and so bear with me, guys. If anybody's asking questions, typing in your name, it didn't come up right away. Oh, I think I can do it from the comment section.
Actually, you know what? I'll put in the private chat my channel.
Okay.
That way you can do it that way.
Okay.
So it's in the private chat now.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Barry Johnsons. They just didn't, for whatever reason, they just never took that name.
They didn't take that name.
Yeah, so they created a user account with Barry Johnson, and then
I'll let your boy say, Barry, making moves. So there you go, Information Man Show. And you guys, Information Man Show has a great show as well. And since he gave that super chat, I definitely want to recommend you guys go over there.
Oh yeah, same. Like so, there are a couple of people from we call ourselves the Fantastic Five. So Gigi, Gadget Gadgets, and Holler at Your Boy, Tech Valor, who Catwoman, and the Bionic Scoop. So we when we make videos, we'll send it to you, critique. This has to be like this and all that stuff. So,
and so okay, you only gave me you.
So
Gigi,
me,
Tech,
Gadget God,
Valor.
Tech Valor, or Catwoman, Bionic Scoop, and Holla at Your Boy.
Oh, Bionic Scoop.
Yeah.
Okay, I know him too. I haven't seen him around in a while though. Oh wow. We got
Primpin.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
Primpin.
Now, it's the power of, like I said, collaboration and what you just mentioned, groups. And so today I'm actually representing my group.
Yes, that's right. Doc Rock and
Let's get live.
Yes, that's right.
There's Doc Rock.
Yeah.
And so he has an amazing Facebook
Oh
group,
my God. Yeah,
but
he's
also
great.
a community, with Buy Me a Coffee. And also Information Man says, I have you now, will be supporting your channel. And he said earlier also that he has to get me on his show again. And yeah, we had a good time and I was on his show. So you never know, because our content is not the same kind of content, but
Correct.
we came together for that show and it was great. And I've also connected him with someone else who he had on the show, India Delgado, or another Let's Get Live community member. And so yeah.
But yeah, I think it all helps. Like that you and like Doc Rock, your group is great from the sense that we sometimes will get a ton of vision in the tech community, like we have to do the video, blah, blah, blah. But you guys talk about how to, basically produce your digital footprint. Like, how do I do a live stream? What are some of the tools? Did you know, sort of like today, did you know on Spotify, they just added this feature so you can interact with your audience? Like that's huge. It's like the community tab for YouTube. So
yep, it sure is. And I also want to give a shout out to Swarthy Daisy, even though
Hmm.
that is not the handle she goes by now. It is
Simplistically digital.
Simplistically
Yeah.
Digital. And I don't know if you remember that we actually met in person
Yes.
at a YouTube creator day.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely remember that.
Yeah, and I got to give YouTube credit for that. If it
Mhm.
wasn't for, the pandemic, they were not just saying, "Oh, if you got, so many thousands of subscribers." They were giving folks that didn't even have a lot of subscribers. I hate using the word
Yeah, yeah,
small,
yeah,
because
yeah.
first of all, I ain't small. So
Mhm.
ain't nothing about me small. So even those that had, maybe more than, I think you had to have at least 1,000
I
subscribers to
think you
get
had to have
invited.
1,000, correct. Yes.
Yeah, to get invited to, and because it really would makes only sense for somebody who's monetized and all that to go to this day where they have experienced YouTubers come and talk to the all the YouTubers that are there, and you get to do Q&A with them, find out about the growth of their channels and all
Mhm.
that. They gave a nice little lunch. I only had to catch the train because I'm in Philly. I only had to catch the train down to DC.
Mhm.
And that's how I met Swarthy Daisy. And she's been doing these simplistically digital. She's
Mhm.
been doing these wonderful conferences that are uplifting. We had the
Mhm.
Video Creator Expo this
Correct.
year.
Correct.
And last year, what was the name of it? Do you remember?
It was YouTubers Unite conference.
YouTubers Unite
Yes,
conference.
yes, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys are talking amongst yourselves in the chat. I love that.
Mhm.
All right. So let's go back over to Anchor now because I want to show you guys how to set it up. And because I know a lot of folks have Anchor podcasts, and even if you don't, it's so easy to start one up. It's like, it's free. Hello. And you can always repurpose some of your content here. Cynthia, long time no see. From Nola, adore you. Yes, keep me streaming. Thank
Mhm.
you. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. That is the goal. I want to keep you guys creating content, and we have a voice, and
True.
that voice has to get out there because we've been silenced for so many years, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so this is why, like content like what Barry does and what I do, it helps empower you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like let's talk about really quickly before we go over back over to Anchor. Let's talk a little bit about your last few videos that you've done on the channel,
Yeah.
or some of the themes that you carry out on the channel.
Yeah. So what, like, again, what I try to do, so I'm carrying covering mostly phone content. What I try to do is I try to look at it from a different perspective of what an engineer would recommend for the average consumer. So like the last few videos have been, I've unboxed an iPhone 13. Then I showed how easy it is to install. This was a sponsored opportunity. A brand had contacted me, how easy it is to install a screen protector. And then really dive into the comments, like from an engineer. Like if someone's like, "Hey, I got a question about this," I really try to get to those comments and explain, help them get in contact, because I do support. So I know what it feels like to have a question that's not answered. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so all right. Off top of my
And
head, go
and
ahead.
I'll just say, and I'll just say, so when you say give people a voice, I think it's really important, especially when we look at ourselves. So like, to give you an example, my son is 18, and one of the holler at your boy who's here, he used to always tell me this before I started creating content. He was like, man, he seems so cool. Like, he seems so, just like a cool person. And then when he sees his videos, he's like, it just hits him. Like, you can be cool, like the cool kid on the block, but you can also create this wonderful thing that's on YouTube that people just marvel at. And it's like how creative this person. And I think the same thing when I think of Primpin as well. She's this young person that has some of the best editing out there, so it's just been fun to be a part of the community.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, I enjoy Primpin's content, and I've checked out a few of her videos, and especially the way she highlights
Mhm.
um the women of history. Oh,
Oh my gosh, she does that. Woman of history is outstanding. Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, and that is so nice. All right. I had to open your podcast in the Spotify app in order to see the poll and Q&A. When I initially clicked on the link, I didn't see those features. FYI, I answered too. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So he
Okay.
couldn't do it from like the website. He had to go to the Spotify app. Okay.
Yeah, it only
Okay.
works on
On the
mobile.
Spotify or on mobile. Okay.
And
Okay.
so I thought that I was going to be able to show you guys how to add the poll from desktop. And you can add them from desktop. I just didn't pay attention too much to the tutorial, but
Mhm.
nevertheless, I did pay attention to how to do it on mobile. So, so
Mhm.
here's your alternative. So, all right, let's just see if I can get my iPhone shown up again. So here I'm in a different episode, and I navigated to the episode. All right.
Mhm.
And you see where it says community. So it's like a community tab, just like here on YouTube. All right. And so this is what I would do. And I can only do the Q&A from the mobile device. So I would just ask another question, and then, it gives you a little bit of a summary of what you need to do. And I'm not going to type one in right now, but I just wanted you guys to
Man,
see.
that's huge. That, like you say, was today's episode helpful, to you? If so, how? That's
Right.
really good.
Yes, let's talk about that, because let's talk about the kind of questions we should be asking. Because what I don't want you to do, and I'm not going to tell you, it's your podcast, you do your thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I think. All
Okay.
right. As a listener and as somebody who's just been around forever, you want to make the questions easy.
Okay.
Somebody's already on Spotify listening to your podcast, so they
Mhm.
already jumped through a hoop or two to
Mhm.
get there. And then they realized, maybe they listened to your episode and you said it in the episode. If you're on Spotify, blah, 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 this is what you need to do. The last thing you want to do is give them a complicated question like, well, what do you think about all the plastic bags that are being banned in the supermarket? Like, come on.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like I only have 160 characters to respond to this.
Okay. You want to ask, common everyday questions where the person can give you especially in the polls, they can give you that answer right away. But even in the Q&A, you want to ask a question that can be simply and easily answered in less than a sentence.
Mhm.
Do you like this? Are you doing this? You could every now and then ask an open-ended question. If you're starting to get a lot of feedback, you
Mhm.
could say, what's your experience with blank? But as in the beginning, let's go with simple questions like I asked. Are you on Instagram? Like, everybody know whether they're on Instagram or not, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
You don't want to ask, do you listen to my podcast? Because duh. Oh, you could ask, are you subscribed to my YouTube channel?
Yeah, you could do that. That would be good. Yeah.
Or do you subscribe to YouTube channels?
Mhm.
Because some people watch and they never subscribe, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like we're old school. We on YouTube all the time, right? We know how to go back in our history and see what we watched 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
But some people never log in.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
open up YouTube and they see what's on that homepage and they watch what they feel like watching. And now we got shorts too. They'll watch those shorts. and they never even log in. And I know because this conversation came up at work. It
Mhm.
was it was in a Microsoft Teams meeting. Don't get it twisted.
Mhm.
And somebody said, "Oh yeah, no, I never log in to YouTube. I just," and I was like, it made me my
Yeah,
heart
yeah,
hurt. Like,
yeah.
no, you gotta log
You
in.
gotta
How's you
log
gonna
in. Just hit the
subscribe?
subscribe. Exactly. Yep.
And how's you gonna find more of my content if you don't log
Mhm.
in?
Mhm.
But since it was work, and I don't really try to convince anybody at work to listen to my podcast or watch my YouTube channel,
Yep.
But yeah, so things like that, you ask common, easy questions. I'll give you an example. I did an episode of the podcast about this once because someone asked me what kind of content, or they put this question on their podcast. What kind of content do you want me to create? More videos or more podcasts? I I can't figure out your life.
Hey,
I'm,
exactly.
I'm listening to
Exactly.
the podcast. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And
I've seen those
then
questions before. Yep.
but here was the clincher on this. Oh, I'm so sorry that you're l- yes, stay logging. Oh, okay. Stay logged in. All right. Oh, and holler at your boy said, please, yes.
Mm.
All right. So here was the thing. The person who was asking the question actually knew that she wanted to create videos instead of podcasts. But then she's
But
asking her
she's
audience.
asking the audience. Okay.
So I put on an episode was be careful what you ask for.
Hmm. Yeah, because they definitely don't want you to do YouTube videos. We
Right?
want you to do the podcast.
If you like doing videos, don't ask your people if they want you to do podcasts because you
Exactly.
want to do videos.
Exactly.
I'm not saying don't get feedback from your audience. That's not what
Yeah.
I'm saying
Correct.
here. I'm saying if be willing to accept the outcome of whatever it is
Hmm.
that you're asking,
Yep.
right? So you don't want to ask those kinds of questions like, what should I do? Those are the kind of questions you ask one on one. Like, Barry, what do you think
Hmm.
about, such and such a thing? And we can have a conversation, a dialogue about it. But I'm not going to, I don't advise any of you guys to put your whole content creation experience on the line
Correct.
by asking people and then not following through, and then that breaks the trust, right?
Hmm.
Because 20 people said podcast and you just keep putting out videos and you don't even do the podcast, and so now what?
Exactly.
So there you go. So Cynthia's laughing. And honestly, I have not heard from that young lady. I'm not saying she's not around. I just haven't heard from her. I don't know if she's podcasting or doing YouTube, but I just hope she stopped asking the wrong questions.
Hmm.
Yeah. And on your polls, here's another tip. And I know sometimes people do these kind of yes or no polls. Do you like ice cream? Yes or no. How about, do you like vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream? Right?
Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
this way you're not really like giving that negative answer. People don't always want to say no to things,
Correct.
right? But you're striking a nerve when you ask them, do you like butter pecan? Somebody gonna be like, "Woo!" They're gonna get one of those ice cream headaches. Birdie Lynn is here. Hello, Lauren. Thank you so much for coming, my dear. Appreciate you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, all right. Anything else? Any other insights that you're thinking about with this Spotify interactive?
I think that's it for me. I just
Okay.
am really impressed with where it's going.
Yeah, okay. Great, great, great. All right. So we're going to move on to something else. Now, I know that Barry is a fan of Twitter.
Hmm.
What about you? And I'm going to ask you guys in the audience right now. And I could put up a poll, but I'm not going to. It's just too complicated for me right now.
Mhm.
But you can put up polls in your YouTube live streams, or
Mhm.
and also in your premieres. Well, I think you may have to have be monetized and all that in order to do that. And Lawrence is my queen. Thank you.